My name is Sandra Ward and this is my studio, Sandra Ward Studio, and I'm located on Washington Road in Uptown Mount Lebanon. And today we're going to have some fun with working from this. And I'm sure everybody knows who did this painting. It's Vincent van Gogh, and it's one of his many sunflower scenes that he did. This is one that is probably not quite as well known because the flowers look a little different. He did an immense number of these. And today the picture is already started. It is on watercolor paper, which is much thicker than drawing paper. And it comes in a book something like this. And the size on here is 9 by 12. And you wouldn't really want to have it any smaller than this. The paper is pretty thick and it will stand up to lots of rubbing with sponges and scraping around with Q-tips, so it's really good for all ages. This is as far as I got. This is what I was doing with the kids the other day. So as far as I started off with just drawing the circles for the flowers, just locating where they're going to be, and then roughly doing this shape. So really it just goes out and in, it's very angular. And then it kind of is a bit lopsided on the picture, which I like. And then I just put a line here so that you can see where the different colours start and stop. This is a watercolour set and it works pretty well. And all the colours that are in the picture you can find on here. We want to have the brightest yellow, and then we're going to use like this colour. In fact, the reds and the orange, not so much these, except for the black. So, and we're going to use a sponge predominantly to do that. These are my sponges, a car sponge that you would get from any automotive store or the dollar store. And I just cut it with scissors and then tore it so that I got different sizes and different shapes. I've got Q-tips, which came from the dollar store, and we're going to use these for the finer bits so that you can get some of the branches and things in there. So I'm going to start off and I'm just going to stick it in, the sponge in, and I'm going to squeeze it out quite well. And then I'm going to rub it really hard on the paint so it picks up a certain amount of paint. And I'm going to start applying it, looking over here at this picture. And so I'm going to try and expand these shapes that I've got going on here and make it a little bit brighter. So you don't have to be exact. I'm just squishing my sponge up so that I've got an area where I can get some of those points going. So it's going to be a fun, free kind of picture. Going to go back over here and add some more yellow, and then we need a lot more yellow over here, so we're going to be a bit bold with that. We're just going to stick it all over here, and then there's another one in the background. And then we look at this one here, there's some yellow coming down from the side, and there's some bright yellow over here, so we want to add that. And then with this yellow I'm going to put it here on the top of the face, like so. And so we think like Van Gogh did, and he used his paintbrush marks to show the shape of things. Like here, things go around because the object's round. And then we're going to go for this darker one here. So we're going to take that and we're going to put it on these areas, and then going around this one, and we're going to use this one this time, and we're going to go over here. Let's see, we're going to add a little more yellow to that one. Let's see. In fact, I think we'll do that now. Let's have a look. So we're going to just put it around, just very freely. And around here. And if you notice, he's got like different shades of the blue in here. I'm going to pick up the Q-tip. That's pretty dark. So over here, if that's a little too dark, we'll take some of that off. I think we'll use this one. So, and then we're just going to put it on to give more definition to it. If you've got too much paint on there, then you can always dab it off like that. So, and then this one, you can mix your colours as well, so a bit more paint here, and then you can do the way it goes around. So you're going to do the sort of texture, the direction that it's going, like that. And then this one is a little different. So you're going to do little scrubby lines on this one to give that look scrubby. Okay, now over here we need some of that as well. I've already put some of the sort of black on, but we're going to need to put more on because that's not enough. So let's go on here. Kind of how he did a little bit, very free. And when that's dry, we're going to put some more black in it. And then this one should be more red. Like so. Where this flower is. So, sort of coming on. And then we want to put black in there. And then our stems look sort of blackish, but maybe not quite so black. So we're going to use that colour. And we can put it on like that. Okay, any more stems? Yeah, there's a couple. Let's see, so we've got this leaf thing here. And I think we're going to go to the black. Make sure it's not too... So we're going to go over here and try and get these shapes a bit more. So you can make this as big as you want or as small as you want. So I'll put a bit more out here. There's a little bit of black down here. So blackish colour, and then that one's kind of green in here. Just put some green in there, and then just going to go down here and make these marks. Rinse. In fact, I think I'm going to use a Q-tip. You do like Van Gogh did. They're curved lines because the object is curved, and it makes it look a bit more curved too. Now, down here, like this, so add that on top. Using it going across. And put more down here. So it's going to be very sort of free to give the effect. So it's a lot more fun doing it with a sponge for a change, because you can't get too tight and everything has to be kind of loose. check which colour might be good. Let's see. Maybe a bit lighter on that one. So hopefully it's not too thick. I'm just going to take it on the edge. Side here, and then across the I'm not sure if he has a little bit going on there, I don't think so. So that's kind of the bottom sort of done. And just last one, bit of bright yellow in places. Always check it to see if it's got enough colour on it. Just touch up these ones. A little more yellow, and they look pretty kind of done. So anybody can do this, and it's not that hard. You just need to put your circles where they're going to be, where the flowers are, or you put like a half circle here because it's bending over. And just remember to use your sponge going straight across on this part, and anything that's round, go around with it. Now that will look better as it dries off because it's a little wet right now and all the colours are a bit darker. But when it dries it will look so much better. Okay. Down here. Now, the thing I love most about what I do is being able to impart that experience and joy of art to others that come into the classroom, and to see their faces when all of a sudden they realise that they can see more than they've ever seen before, and gives me a great deal of pleasure seeing their excitement. I think that's one of the most important things. And also, of course, I can't do without having art in my life every day, and I'm trying to make other people feel the same way because it's such an important part of life. And there are so many other things that, you know, make life difficult, and it's a way to escape for a while into your own world and create a place like you'd like it to be through paint, paper, pencil, whatever you want to use. So it doesn't matter what you use, it's just kind of making sure you do it. What they might be surprised about is, obviously I'm not from Pittsburgh, so I'm from England, but England isn't the only place that I've lived. So I lived in Africa for 7.5 years, and that's where I actually studied art at Rose University, and it was a wonderful experience being there. The culture is so different, and after living in a small town in small England, the vastness of the countryside and, you know, the wonderful heat and sunshine and the light was so different compared to a lot of the grey that we had in England, lots of rain and stuff, and we do get sunshine sometimes, but you know. And then of course coming to the States, which was kind of in a way a little combination of the two. The hardest thing about my job is the business side of it. I don't like it, I have to admit. I don't like doing the paperwork and the scheduling and the tax forms. I find those, if I could get someone else to do all that, that would be bliss. I could just come here and, you know, do my thing. I think the most popular classes are between ages like 7 to 10, 7 to 9, but then Also, over the years, I've found that my teen group has really picked up. And I do get a lot of enjoyment with the teen group because they have such ideas and they're willing to try things. The younger kids, of course, want to try different things, but with the teen group, they can take it further. So I love to have kids who haven't had any training, because then it's like a fresh slate and they don't have, any set ways of doing things when they come, because I believe in, working from shapes and, having fun while you learn. So, and I don't want kids to worry about, is it good or isn't it good? I just want them to have fun doing it, because if you're enjoying it, well, that's the whole point. Well, how I ended up having an art business, it was a progression of things that happened. I'd always been interested in art since a child, and it became something I loved that much I couldn't imagine doing anything else. So I decided to do that, and I did that until we moved to Pittsburgh, and then I thought, no, I'm going to stick to just doing my work and seeing how I could promote that. And parents came to the door one day and asked if I would teach their kids. So that started with 2, and then more came and more came, but it brought income in. I had to have the business, I needed the income to pay for the studio to do my art in. And also I needed a marketplace to sell my own work, to get commissions for house portraits and pet portraits. And I use Facebook and my website to promote that. And the teaching side has really expanded to become way bigger than I ever thought it would be before COVID. Yes, COVID has brought its own challenges. I love being in Lebo because it's a community. When I left England, or when I left Philadelphia, I was living more in the burbs, and I didn't like the fact that I couldn't walk to places or just have a community. It always seemed that it was always like 10 miles down the road I had to go or something to find that. So we purposely looked when we moved here 20 years ago to find a neighbourhood type of place, and my husband had been here on business before, and so we aimed for Mount Lebanon. We looked at Sewickley, but Mount Lebanon had the proximity to town and all the things. Culture is very important to me, and of course it is to a lot of people in Mount Lebanon. And I love the small shops. I love the sort of streets. I live in a 4-square house, and it's traditional Pittsburgh. And I love being able to walk to work every day. And everything is so close, and I can get on the T and go down to the art museum, what have you. So, and the people are great too. And there's other artists and people who are interested in that living here. And it's a very vital, diverse community. I love it. So thank you for watching the class today, and hope you find some interest in what I've been showing you, and maybe think about coming to classes here. I will say goodbye for now. I will be putting out my own classes in time, and so you'll be able to see them, and come back again. And I love Lebo.